Hey there, this is an addendum to my custom Galvatron video. It's not my usual setup. Unfortunately, everything's sort of packed up, ready to move at the moment. So I've just sort of had to grab things where I can, get some lighting. And I'll just showcase the extra mods that I've done specifically to the arm there. That's why you can see that it is currently detached, because I figured it would be easier to just show the arm than have to try and get Galvatron in frame and where everyone can see it and all that sort of thing. So here we go with the arm. As I showed off previously, I had painted up the treads there, and I've had some questions about the forearm covers that I've done, which I did not show on the previous video. Basically what I've done is I've added some forearm covers that can open and close for transformation, and I've also added a wrist joint using a ball and socket. So this will just be a quick video just to walk through basically what I've done and how you can do this yourself. So we'll start off. I'm just going to gently unhook that and pop that out. Alright, so this is basically how you would have had the arm in the stock toy, with the exception that this section in here would have had a little bar across it, just a little nub of plastic. And what I did was I just got my X-Acto knife. I'm sorry if you can't see there, it's a little awkward. And I just shaved that piece out, and you're left with an open space and these divots there, which would facilitate the wrist swivel, but there wasn't any turn in it. So I picked up some ball sockets on eBay. There should be a link on the TFW forum linking to the specific ball joints, which someone else, whose name I cannot remember, had picked those up. And basically I just cut down the hand. Sorry, try and keep that in frame. Cut down the hand and inserted the wall socket there, and it's essentially a perfect fit to just clip in there. And the divots that they've got there to allow the old clip is perfect for holding that ball in there, so it doesn't feel like it's going to come out. It's nice and stable, nice and tight, and allows you just enough space to be able to transform that in still. So for the actual cover itself, was really basic. It's I could probably do some more work on it to tidy it up, but for my purposes it's good, it's fine enough. Basically started with some polystyrene and just got a basic shape for the inside that I could trace out on some styrene. So just some very flat, thin styrene, just from the local hobby store. And then I also used a piece of piping, styrene piping, which I glued to there. That's why there's a seam, which if I took a bit more time I could tidy it up and make it, look better. But this is fine for now. And I took some brass, and I basically inserted the brass into the tubing, glued it in there so it was nice and stable. I've reinforced that area there just with some super glue, and I needed to shave off this middle section here just to allow for enough room for it to swivel properly without catching. So the trickiest part was getting my pin vise, and I don't know how well you can see this, but I just drilled a hole in there and a hole on this side, which hasn't gone all the way through, but it's just enough. It's just enough to be able to insert the brass pins, and you could use a paper clip or whatever, and they will just slot in there, and it's just stiff enough to be able to hold in there like that, and allow for it to open and close. So if we bring the wrist in like that, fits in there snugly, just pops that through, a little bit of friction. And then I've lined up the opening there just with the little nub there, the little nub there on the hand, and so that will hold that in place so there's nothing flopping, nothing shaking around, and so that's all still able to transform perfectly. The colour matches a little bit better in person than it does on the camera, but depending how much time you want to spend with colour matching. So it's a real quick, real easy mod, and you could spend as much time as you wanted to tidy this up. Like if I wanted to, I could add another thin layer of styrene, or to sand it down, epoxy it up, just to make the seam less visible. This was more of a proof of concept than it was like to be a masterpiece kind of deal, and depending on how you finagle it, I mean, everything fits in there fine. It might pop out occasionally if you're going to do anything with it, but as far as like general wear and tear, play, transformation and that, it just adds to the figure, and I really wish that Hasbro Takara had have done something like this, you know, with the stock figure. If you wanted to do something even more basic that didn't involve a hinge, I guess you could just add a plastic filler piece, shapeways, or just some styrene or something like that. But I like having the utility of being able to transform it and have the gap closed like that. So yeah, that's pretty much how that works. It really was just a bit of trial and error, but I mean, real basic. You can't get much more basic than the materials, just very cheap. Pin vise is probably the most expensive piece of equipment you'll end up using for that, and it's just a matter of trial and error, getting all of that to fit. So I hope that's informative. Like I say, I had recorded a bunch of mods previously, but had not gotten around to doing this one. So that's just a little specific breakdown on how that works. So, you know, if you feel inclined to try that on your own figure, you know, a proof of concept, it pretty much works. So there we go. Thanks for watching.